and just tell them.
Yeah, to me it shows that we're live, but I can't find the link on YouTube.
Alright, let me just have a look from my end.
I think, yeah, we're from live. Let me just test this. Hold on.
Yeah, we're from live. Let me just yeah, we're from live. Let me just
You are audible.
Alright, we have audio. Great, awesome.
Finally. I'll just share this in the.
Cool. You want to stay on the group chat?
So no, I'll leave the group chat, so
Okay.
you'll have this all to yourself. All right.
Cool.
Perfect, man. Good luck, man. All the best.
Alright, let's have some fun.
No commentator curse this week.
Alright, cool, man. See you.
All right. See you on the other side. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Perfect, man. Good luck, man. All the best.
Alright, let's have some fun.
No commentator curse this week.
Alright, cool, man. See you.
All right. See you on the other side. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Perfect, man. Good luck, man. All the best. No commentator curse this week.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 4 of the Proximity F1 eSports to the F1 eSports Championship. This is round 4. We're here in Bahrain. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 4 of the Proximity. So, this is round 4. We started off the season in Australia, then we headed off to Interlagos, and then we made our way to Monza, and here we are today in Bahrain. Now, what's interesting to note is the last 3 tracks have basically been a mix of city tracks and old school tracks. So there was a lot of challenges that are put up with these old school tracks and the city tracks, but today we are making our way into a proper F1 facility, a modern F1 facility, that is Bahrain. And this is one of those, tracks like this are completely pristine. They don't have those imperfections that you find with street circuits or older circuits, but these tracks also have their own little kinks, and it should be interesting. This circuit is extremely technical, and Bahrain over the last couple of years has given us some interesting races, although I do prefer the older laps, the old school racetracks. But yeah, let me just quickly get myself acquainted and let's just jump into it. So we have qualifying right here. We started off with qualifying. Now, like the previous sessions, let me quickly run you through how these sessions are going to work. So we're going to have a quick 15-minute qualifying, followed by a 25% of the actual F1 races. So I think we'll do about 18 laps here today, I believe. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you've been following the last couple of races, you know that we've seen some extremely good racing from the drivers here. So let's see how it all pans out. So we have some crowd favorites. We have Ashwin Lakwani, Imran Tando, who's been extremely consistent. We also have Mercurial Caesar Tariq Rahman, the crowd favorite as it seems, but here chilling in the pits. So let's see if anybody is making their way out, maybe starting. Yep, it looks like we have Mayank here, who's going to be starting the first of the flying laps, and let's see how he does. So coming up 340 kilometers per hour, braking hard into turn 1, which is the Schumacher curve. Extremely technical. This is the prime overtaking opportunity. Let's not forget last season where we saw the 2 Ferraris battle out with Leclerc and Vettel. We had some interesting battles there, and Vettel obviously made a complete hash of it. Yeah, making their way into the fast flowing section here, and then braking extremely hard downhill into this technical corner. Very, very easy to overdrive, and as you could see there, Mayank just miss the apex, and then again into this corner right here is extremely challenging because you're turning in and you have a kink, and there you have it. It's very easy to oversteer the car coming out of that corner right there, and then again braking hard. A lot of hard braking points in this circuit, so it's going to be extremely daunting on the tires, and it's going to be very easy for drivers to overdrive these specific sectors and probably make a hash of things. But looks like Mayank is putting together a pretty good lap, and let's see what comes on. That should give us a benchmark of what lap times these drivers are going to be setting. So as he makes his way to the line, we looks like we have two drivers ahead of him, 7B and Shah 2224. So Mayank did a 130.2. Oh, is that good? We are not really going to know. We'll have to wait. And there you have it. Ashwin Lakhwani putting in a commendable 127.8, and there Rajdeep Paul with 5/10 behind Ashwin over there. So that should give you, that's the benchmark right there, ladies and gentlemen, a 127.8. Alright, let's try to catch some of the favorites. So we have some comments here. Season Azim, yep, Azim Clark. Looks like he's on his, they're both teammates on their Rocket Williams. So let's, I think we've got Azim on his hot lap here. Looks like he's coming up to a little bit of traffic. Yep, that's that downward kink left-hander. This circuit also is quite interesting because I believe it has 3 DRS zones, and which means that we're going to see a lot of overtaking opportunities. There you have it, Azim going a little bit wide, getting into the fast left and right-hander, and then again braking to this long right-hander, powering out before he brakes hard and makes his way to the start-finish line. Will he be able to put a fight to our leader currently at the moment, Ashwin Lakhwani? Let's wait and see. So we have 12 and a bit minutes still left in this qualifying session. Nope, Azim does a 129.5. Not good enough. Who else? We have Tariq Rahman here still getting out of the pits. Nova West, again, another favorite, been extremely competitive over the last couple of races, and as he makes his way through the start finish line, what time is he going to put? Let us watch and see. There you have it, P2 127.9. extremely competitive, and he's running on the mediums, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget. So he obviously has the option of softs, and these are just the first flying laps. They're obviously going to go faster as we progress into the session. So let's see how much we can get those lap times down by. I believe maybe high 26s should be possible as well. So following Tariq here, just taking it easy, trying to build up as much, going off the line there, driving conservatively. He wants to get as much heat on the tires as possible. Anybody else on their flying laps? Nope, they're all getting back into the pit lane. So it looks like we have Sonic Hawk, Ace and Tariq. So Sonic Hawk here in his Renault. Let's see what time he puts up. Again, this track is extremely technical, guys, but of course, being a modern day Formula 1 facility, there's plenty of runoff areas in this track. So in case drivers bottle it, this to me is the most challenging part of the circuit. Very easy to overdrive the car. As you can see there as well, Sonic Hawk just went offline there. And let's jump on board with Tariq and let him show us what a flying lap looks like. So it looks like he's just come out of turn 1, I believe. No, this is the last sector. Sector 1, sorry. He is in Sector 1. Yep. And let's just get on board with him and see how he shows us how it's done here in Bahrain. Braking hard again into this hairpin. Lot of hairpins here. Locking the wheels but pushing really hard. It'll be interesting to see how he takes this corner again. which marks the beginning of sector 2. There you have it, perfectly taken right on the apex, powering his way down there and getting DRS, using as much of the track as possible and being extremely lenient with the track limits. Let's not forget, this game is very strict with track limits, but Tariq certainly knows his way around. And there you have it, a purple sector. So it looks like he's on to a fast lap, possibly a pole. But of course, this last curve as well is extremely tricky and challenging. Drive here is extremely important. And there you have it. Will he be able to get on pole? Let's wait and watch. We should have our answer. Yep, a 27.2, 6/10 faster than Ashwin Lakwani. That is extremely quick. Really great pace right there from Tariq Rahman, as expected. Utkarsh seems to have found himself in a little bit of traffic there. But let's not forget, folks, that this is just the first flying lap. We still have almost 9 minutes in the session left, so it can go anywhere. Nova West posted an extremely competitive time of 27.9, and he's getting out for his out lap, and that was on mediums. It's going to be interesting to see. Now he's put on his softs. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of time he puts out. And this is his out lap, obviously, so we'll come back to Nova West in a bit. Aditya Patnaik, aka Pataka, in the Red Bull, a 28.2, a pretty commendable time over there. But again, this is his out lap, so this is the second batch. It looks like, yep, he's getting into his flying lap, so let's stick with Aditya Patnaik. And he let the other driver ahead of him go. I'm guessing just to manipulate the toll. That's Rajdeep Paul over there. So let's watch these two drivers. They're both on their second hot laps, and Rajdeep there completely overdrives it a little bit and goes offline and off track, and as a result his lap time is invalidated. Okay, Aditya Patnaik here so far keeping it nice and clean as he makes his way down into turn number 8. Tariq there, you saw he broke way too hard and locked up the wheels, but here Aditya just missing the apex by a whisker and making his way down to turn 9 and 10. Again, the most challenging part of the circuit in my opinion. Very easy to get it wrong, and into the next DRS zone as he makes his way into turn 11. Now here in Bahrain, this is one of the newer tracks on the grid, and apart from turn 1, which is the Schumacher corner, they don't really have any names for the rest of the corners. I tried to look up. Oh, it looks like Aditya just backed off right there. I don't know if it was the lap was invalidated or he's just letting he's just letting Rajdeep go. Aditya, they're a master tactician when it comes to strategy. We saw some of that yesterday in the Ultimate E-races when he was driving the Porsche. Tried to do a one-stopper, and it almost paid off until the last corner where Ravi Kiran got the better of him. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, with these newer tracks, because they're new, they don't have a lot of history just yet. Not a lot of these corners have been christened with names, so I'm going to have to refer to them just as turn 1, 2, 3, except for turn 1, which is the Schumacher corner. Again, braking hard. You want to brake at the 100-meter mark, and yep, he has overshot his apex. Okay, let's see if there's somebody else on a fast lap. So Nova West, yes, he was. We know that he put up an extremely competitive time with the mediums. I'm definitely expecting him to be much faster with these softs. So let's see what time he puts up as he makes his way down to the last two corners, which is actually two corners. There you have 14 and 15, although it might look like one corner, it's actually two corners. 15 corners on this circuit. And yep, as expected, Nova West doesn't disappoint, a 27.2. That means that he goes 300ths faster than Tariq Rahman, who's also now on his out lap. So this is really heating up, guys. So Tariq here is in turn number 11, so a couple more corners to go before he makes his way on to starting off his final lap. So we'll come back to him in a bit. Do we have anybody else? Imran Thunder looks like he's starting his flying lap. Alright, let's stick with Tariq here and let's see if he's able to improve. So here he is coming up to the start finish line, and again braking at the 100-meter. Oh, but it looks like he broke a little too early. I don't know if he just backed out. Oh no, sorry, I got. Again, this is the problem with tracks that have such great facilities. They all kind of look the same, right? They're not a lot of distinguishing markers. So that turn 14-15 looks very similar to turn 1. So I apologize for that. But there you have it, Tariq. They're very aggressive with the car, really, and a little too aggressive. Commentator's curse right there. Extremely sorry for that, Tariq. Little too aggressive there, and this game is very unforgiving. The train distance combined are close to 100 plus horsepower. So these things are quite potent, and they don't will. All right, as well as he makes his way out of, I believe that is turn 30. He's going straight to the pits, choosing to make the better of it. Anybody else on their flying laps? CH55 Max haven't really covered him too much, but yep, he is here again in turn 9 and 10. And you can see that the fuel indicator there blinking, which means that he's running low on fuel, and that's what you want to do when you're going for pole position. You want to run a light fuel load as much as possible. And you got to admire the detail of this game. You can see the wear on the tires, and just, I'm sorry guys, I think the commentator's curse is very strong today. But yep, he overdrove the car. The other thing that I noticed about this game is the curbs are extremely slippery. They're very. I tried my hand last week at Interlagos, and I took the lines that I would normally take in Gran Turismo Sport with a GT3 car, where it's a lot more forgiving. You ride the curves to get more pace, but not in this. Did Ashwin Lakwani drop out, or I'm reading the comments and I'm getting audio breaking? Is my here again? Alright guys, I hear you out audio. Let me just switch over to my hotspot here and reduce the strain on my internet connection. I have horrible internet connection. I think all the internet connections are being overloaded. Is the audio better now, guys? Alright, thanks Puneet. I'm just switching it over to another connection. Is the audio better now? Just bear with me for a second guys while I get this sorted. And it looks like the top 3 are still the same. We have Noah West, Tariq Rahman and Ashwin Lakwani, but Ashwin, I can't seem to catch him. I don't know if he has glitched out. Is it maybe a connectivity issue? We'll just have to wait for the end of the session and see what's what. Alright, thanks Adeep for letting me know that the audio is fine. Yep, my internet has been spiking, so it tends to clobber now and then. So CH55 Max on his out lap, so it looks like Noah West has finished his lap. Did he improve? He did improve a little bit. He improved by a 10th. So yep, he went a little bit faster right there, Noah West. Great drive. So Noah West in first, Tariq in second. It looks like this is Tariq's last shot, and he's coming up to traffic that has completely obliterated his entry into turn 14 and 15, which means that he has a compromise exit, and Tariq just gives up. He knows that it's not worth it. It's not going to make him go any faster, so he leaves it there. So it looks like that is the end of qualifying, and we're just waiting for everybody else to just finish up the rest of their laps. Will we see any last lap surprises? No, it looks like we're not going to see that. So, yep, it looks like this is our starting order then, ladies and gentlemen. So Nova West right here giving a tap to Utkarsh X1, Utkarsh from the X1 Racing League, or it's basically the auto drive. I find this really hilarious. I think it's very hilarious that on auto drive the cars just keep bumping into each other. So with that, just give me a second, guys. I will quickly be back before the race starts as we start on to the race directly. So I will be back in just a second. Okay, so waiting for the race start, gentlemen. This is going to be another exciting race here with the Proximity eSports F1 2020 Championship. Yeah, we don't have any real races, but this is a good replacement. Did anybody else watch the F1 race that they just beamed on YouTube? I like the fact that they're doing this. They showed. If you watch it, let me know in the comments. They just showed Silverstone 2008, where you had Hamilton win it, and it was a brilliant race. I mean, that was a time where Hamilton was getting a lot of hate, and he really showed everybody why he's a future world champion and potentially one of the most successful race car drivers in the world through his amazing drive. Alright, so hopefully everything should be okay. The internet holds up and we can jump straight into the race. Lap 14 lap race. This is going to be absolutely exciting. I believe it's going to be a one-stop strategy. It looks like we have had some technical issues. I don't see all the drivers on. It looks like, yeah, if you look at what the leaderboard is showing us right now, Tariq, it's showing second, but Nova West doesn't seem to be in the session. We have had these issues. I faced some of these issues yesterday. Yesterday when we were doing the Ultimate E races. Hopefully it should be resolved though. Yeah, Adit. Okay, so Tariq says that Nova and Acid have been disconnected. So we're going to restart the session with no qualifying. So I'm guessing we're going to maintain the qualifying order that we finished off in. These are things that we have to just get used to now because the internet system seemed to be overloaded. But yeah, it was an extremely exciting race. The F1, the 2008 Silverstone race, really great times, and it was so great to see Robert Kubica and Nick Heidfeld and Rubens Barrichello all fighting for the championship, and in those glorious V10s just screaming with power. And one thing I did notice that was quite interesting in that race was Ferrari's performance. I think it's quite reminiscent of where they were in 2019. Just you can definitely see the drop in team morale, and that's quite interesting to see that post Schumacher era Ferrari haven't been really as competitive as they should be, being a top tier team. And it's also reflected in the game. We haven't seen any Ferrari drivers on top. Jackson Ginger and his teammate. So will this race change that? Because we know the Ferraris are extremely quick in a straight line. We know what Leclerc and Vettel showed us last year in a straight line as we wait for the session to restart. So while that happens, how is everybody doing with this lockdown? Starting order, Abdul, is going to be based on the qualifying that happened. So we can see the qualifying. I'm a little confused. So the drivers have made their way onto the grid here. But we should see a session restart. Alright, I think it looks like from the looks of it that plan has been canned. So we're just going to directly jump into the race start right here. So that is the start of the Bahrain GP, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see that this is of course just a... I'm sorry guys, I'm just a little bit confused. So I am seeing a lot of people dropping off the session. So, and Tariq did tell me that we're going to restart the race, but it doesn't seem like it. Okay, so it looks like we'll just jump straight into the race then. Alright, let's just jump straight into the race. Technical issues galore, no worries, it happens. But yeah, these guys are on their formation lap. And penalties. Wow, I'm sorry. I am just very confused right now. Okay, the race has begun. This is the final order, and this is lap number 1 of, and Tariq has already built up quite a commanding lead. Very sorry for that. A lot of confusion all around. This is the new normal here at because of all the challenges that we face here with all these technical issues. I thought that we were going to do a restart because that's what was told to me, but no matter. It looks like Tariq is in the lead and followed by Jitu. Let me just check anything in the group if I'm missing out on. Nope, yep, that is not going to happen. So we're just directly going to blast for it. So Jitu, I don't remember what position that he qualified in, but he is in 2nd place at the moment. Made 16 positions. Is that what my eyes deceive me? He's made up 16 positions in the last lap. That is quite interesting. Okay, yeah, so the race hasn't started. Sorry about that. I can see the arrows now. So let's just wait till the session restarts. Yikes. I feel like a noob right now. This is so confusing. It's easier to commentate in real life motorsports. But with all the changes and the technical challenges, it can be quite confusing. Alright, so while we wait for the race to restart, and the rest of the drivers to join the grid, while we wait for that to happen, why don't you guys let me know in the comments? Yeah, I got. Why don't you let me know in the comments of how you guys have been spending your time here during the lockdown? Have you guys been playing any sim racing games? If so, what games have you been enjoying? We are AI racing. Okay, so let me get this clear, because again, I'm very new to Formula 1, the game. And so when there is, just correct me if I'm wrong, this is going to be a very noob question, but when there is a cross above their head, like what we see right now, that means that's the AI, right? And of course they're ghosting each other, so that is the AI. Wow, I must have sounded like such an idiot just talking about... Wow, Glenn, good job. Must have been sounded like such an idiot just talking about AI cars racing each other. Jesus Christ. That is one for the social media noob commentators. Play. I see. Thanks for Abdul. So that means that the player is offline and the AI is driving. All right. So let me just switch over to the other lobby and join the rest of the drivers. Hopefully, I should see my invite. Yep, there we go. The rest of the drivers, so we should be good to go. Thanks for that, Rajiv. See right here, guys, people with their net connections, a lot of reds and yellows. Yesterday as well with Gran Turismo Sport, when we did some of the races, race 1, I got booted out after qualifying 3rd. But then, you know, this is what you have to deal with now. This is the new reality. But hopefully we should have a race start without any issues. So I think we should be ready to go. I believe everybody is in. All right, so I think with that we should be ready to go. For those of you who have maybe just joined us right now, this is the Proximity Esports F1 2020 Championship. This is round 4 here in Bahrain. Bahrain is going to be the first of the new tracks. The last 3 races have been extremely exciting. We started the season off in Adelaide, in Australia, and then we went off to Interlagos and then Monza. It was extremely exciting. Racing right there. This is going to be the first of the newer tracks that we've seen in recent times, the more modern tracks with world-class facilities. Of course, this track here, like a lot of tracks in the Middle East, have been built keeping in mind to promote a lot of tourism, and it's amazing how they've recreated this track here in the game. I've been fortunate to be at the Bahrain circuit and even the Yas Marina circuit, and it's incredible that how much this game gets the detailing right, especially with the lighting and the textures. So we should be in for a treat, and I believe that we're waiting for just one more driver before we begin the race. So yeah, this track has quite a few DRS zones. It has a lot of heartbreaking points. So we should see a lot of dive bombs, I predict, and lap lunges. So we should be in for quite a treat. I wonder if the starting order is going to be based on the way that we finished qualifying last time, or or maybe it's random. So let us, we should see it in just about a second, anytime now. Abdul says, all the best guys, clean race. We need an eye-pleasing race. That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say that, eye-pleasing race. That's what does that even mean? Something that's pleasing to the eyes. Man, that can be interpreted in a lot of other ways. Again, talking about the detail, they've even captured the announcers on the loudspeakers. That's quite interesting as well. Yep, Abdul, this is a very slippery track as well. We saw quite a lot of spins during qualifying, especially on the curbs. The cars have absolutely no grip on the curbs. All right. So that is the order that they finished in qualifying. So they've just directly jumped into it as they make their way for their warm-up lap. And so it looks like everybody is in, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations. We will. So as you have Nova West here, who is these guys are just getting the tires warmed up here in their warm-up lap, and as you can see, Tariq just weaving left and right, trying to get as much heat into the tires as possible. And just take a moment for this, just a moment to appreciate the absolute amazing detail. Even look at the tire marks on the tracks. These tracks, I believe, are in games like this are laser scanned for texture accuracy, and you know the physics they model the compound of the tarmac as well, so you get a very accurate feel, or as accurate a feel as you possibly can. And it's really great to see how far sim racing has progressed, and despite the unfortunate situation that we have with the world today. World taking part in this, and especially in India. So especially in India, we're seeing a lot momentum continues with deep place to start. And let me just get rid of as they make their way, start who's going to have a good start right off the line. It looks like Tariq has got a good start here, but so has Nova West. He's managed to keep that gap. Ashwin is as well. Oh, and you push Tariq right in front, which actually gave him a bit of an advantage. And very smartly backed right out of it, and made his way distributed plates to third place, and Rajdeep fall all the way down to 7th. Wonder what happened there. It looks like he got nudged from the back, but it looks like there is a little bit of a battle here between Ashwin and Aditya Patnaik already. It's going to be to see how they couple of laps. Audio back there. Couple of laps. Audio back there. Is it better now? Sorry guys, let me just try and sort out this audio issue. In the meantime, let's follow some battles. Okay, audio check 1 2.
Audio issue.
Alright, thanks for that, Aditya. Yep, let's just dive back straight in the action. Again, I apologize for the 100th time. Lot of issues here we're having with the technical setup. I think that my headset is a little bit old as well, which is giving me issues right now. But I can't buy one because Amazon's closed. And there you have Rajdeep Paul with a slight oversteer moment. But it looks like the race has already quite quickly settled. But what do we see here? It looks like Nova West has not let Tariq get away. That's quite interesting. It looks like he's kept the gap under a second, which means that coming down the start-finish straight, he's going to have the advantage of DRS as well. I'm beginning to wonder if Nova West deliberately let Tariq have that position. Maybe that is his game plan. He gets the advantage of slipstream and then brings down the gap, or rather maintains the gap at about half a second. But I think that could be Nova West's strategy right there, where he let Tariq overtake him and decided to play the safe game and just maintain pace and then attack second half of the race. As these boys make their way into the fast left-right, it looks like Nova West has set up purple sector again on the mediums. Just goes to show how much raw pace he has with this car. That's really interesting to see. And then again making his way into the toughest part of the circuit, turn 9 and 10, braking extremely hard, shifting gears aggressively, and this is also another DRS zone, so he should catch up to Tariq as well. Tariq being quite aggressive. We saw him lock up a few corners ago, and Nova is taking a tighter line, maintaining that slipstream, and you can see Tariq just trying to eke out as much of an advantage as possible, swooping wide and in as well, making use of the track limits as much as possible. Alright, do we have any other battles? Any other battles down the order? Let's have a quick look. It looks like there's quite a battle brewing here between 10th and 11th position, between 7B and Flipper. Or it looks like Ashwin has overtaken CH55 Max. We missed that overtake, apologize for that. But Ashwin Lakwani again back into third position where he started from, but he has a lot of work to do because he's almost 4 seconds behind the leaders. And there Nova West again has brought down the gap to 3/10 and now 4/10, so maintaining it at 4/10, being again very aggressive with the curbs there, marking a much tighter line. He's clearly watching what Tariq is doing, and Tariq again locking up. Not really great for exit speeds, but Nova West just quietly watching him like a hawk and letting him do the driving, and Tariq again locking into the apex and oversteering at the exit. And Nova West there with the advantage of DRS as well has brought the gap down to under 0.2 of a second, but it looks like he's just getting the better of Tariq here, and you can see from the ERS as well. It looks like Nova West is doing a slightly better job with maintaining his ERS system, and Tariq has 2 charges left. Nova West is on 3. So overall, it looks like the race has settled into a fairly comfortable pace. So let's see if there's anything else brewing down the grid. So Aditya Patnaik, Utkarsh has made up quite a number of positions. That's quite commendable right there. And Aditya Patnaik getting into his slipstream has got DRS engaged. Let's see how much of an advantage he has coming down the straight. So that's 4/10, 3/10, 2/10, and that was incredible. You could see the advantage that DRS slipstream and that long combination of long straight has here. But this is Utkarsh's chance to build up a gap, because now we move on to the next part of the track, which is quite technical, getting into the fast left and then the right hander, and then coming downhill into that apex, going uphill and then again braking downhill again for the apex, for that tight left hander. So it's going to be interesting to see. This is a good opportunity for Aditya, if he plays his cards right, to catch up with Utkarsh, because this is where drivers tend to make a lot of mistakes right here in this turn 9 and 10. And looks like Aditya got a great entry perfectly over the curb right there, and he got DRS advantage as well. So you'll see that gap tumble down. So that was 1/10 right there in just that straight. Further down the grid, we also have Rajdeep here, who's picked up the battle. He was in 4th position, got completely bundled up at the start, and got relegated down to 7th. But he's still in the fight. We still have more than half of the race to go, so it can still go anywhere. It doesn't seem like there's podium contention, but definitely 4th place is within an arm's reach. CH55 Max on the other hand and Shah 222 again with their battle here. This is a perfect example to see how much of an advantage DRS has. You started the straight with about 5.5 tenths of a gap, and now it's coming down. Shah 222 weaving aggressively to break that toe, and then CH55 Max going completely deep but getting the position. Oh no, these guys have tumbled. These guys have collided with each other, and that's what tends to happen. So it looked like CH55 went a little too deep. Shah 222 tried to get the undercut on him, and they just collided into each other. And looks like 7B has taken advantage of that whole situation. So with the rest of the back markers, it looks like the race has settled into a comfortable pace. Nothing much to report here. Mayank has had her spin. That's really unfortunate. And he is now all the way down in 18th position. It looks like, but he's running on medium, so he could try for the overcut and potentially make something of this. Alright, so it looks like the action is right here up in front. We seem to have just got Sonic Hawk in the fight of this, so let's follow these three guys. But no, it's been broken up with Aditya and a couple of other drivers getting into the pits, switching over to their medium stints. Now the man to watch for this, of course, is Nova West, because he started on mediums and now he has the advantage of softs. Where is he going to come out? He comes out in 3rd position. Sonic Hawk did not pit, so he and 7B as well are hopefully should pit in the next lap, which means that effectively Nova West should take the lead. So it looks like something has gone wrong for Tariq, or I believe Imran hasn't pitted as well. But yeah, it looks like Nova West has effectively taken the lead of the race, but Tariq still is within a earshot because Nova West is being held up by 7B, and 7B hasn't pitted yet, but Nova West has had to battle for that position and wasn't an easy position, although it was technically right for 7B to defend for that position. But of course he made Nova West work for it. And Tariq here getting DRS advantage. He should be able to comfortably overtake Imran, but Imran is still running on softs. So is he going to give this position up to Tariq? Yep, he does. And Tariq here has to fight back because it looks like there is about a 2-second gap between him and Nova West, and that is the battle for first. Alright, further down the order, how has this panned out for the rest of the boys? Ashwin was battling with Aditya. There are still a couple more guys left to pit, so hopefully by the next lap we should have clarity as to how all of this is panning out. And with that, Sonic Hawk has gotten to the pit, and Nova West is officially in 1st position. And what is the gap to Caesar? 2.5 seconds. That is a much bigger gap than what these guys started on. So Tariq Rahman here has his work cut out for him for the rest of the race, and he's running on mediums. Nova West maintained the gap, took advantage in the pits, came out in front, and looks like he has had pretty much the perfect race so far. He was on pole, he let Tariq take the position. This is a really mature drive from Nova West. He let Tariq take the position because he knew that he can, as long as he just maintains the gap with Tariq, who is in his slipstream, he should be able to fight for first, and that's exactly what he's done. Alright, Ashwin Lakwani has worked his way into 3rd as well, so it looks like the gap with the battle with Patnaik has not, the gamble with Patnaik has taken has not really paid off. but I don't recall Ashwin pitting. I don't know if he's pit. I believe he should pit in this lap. If he has pitted, then it's a brilliant strategy. It's a brilliant master stroke when it comes to strategy. But if he hasn't, let's just wait and watch. I don't think he has pit. Okay, he's going for it. So that means, yep, he has pitted. And from a strategic perspective, this has completely paid off in his favor. Flipper there was in the thick of it, but of course now is going to switch over to his softs. Alright, so we should have the race should be settled now with everybody taking their pit stop, and this should be the rest of the order for the rest of the race. So let's see what we have here. Rajdeep Paul, that's brewing just under a second. As long as Sonic Hawk can keep in Rajdeep's keep the gap under a second, he should have the advantage of slipstream, and then DRS in the next sector as they punch out of work their way up the hill, and the DRS right after turn 9 and 10, which is right here. So, but oops, it looks like he overshot. Yep, and he's lost time, but not an issue. He has had the DRS advantage, so he should be able to claw back some time, but just that little mistake there has cost him. Down the order, it looks like there's a battle here with Azim Clark and 7B as well. Azim had a fan who's watching earlier. So it should take him about a lap or two to kind of reel him in. And looking up the order, it looks like Novawest has built that gap to over 3 seconds now. And Sonic Hawk has kept it under a second as they make their way to start finish straight, and he should have DRS advantage. You'll see that play out here. 9/10 of a second behind, 8/10, but then again Rajdeep Paul has DRS over Utkarsh. Oh, he didn't have DRS, so he crossed the line without 1 second of an advantage, without the over a second, and didn't get DRS in that section. But it looks like Rajdeep is hunting Utkarsh down, and this battle here for 4th, 5th and 6th should play out and be quite interesting. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in another lap or two. And with that, we have overshot the halfway mark, and just another 4 laps left in this Bahrain race. And this is the thing with tracks like this. This is what I meant when I was talking about tracks like this in the beginning of the stream, is that because these tracks are, purpose-built Formula 1 tracks, they are built to like perfect engineering standards and specifications. Once you settle into a rhythm, it becomes extremely difficult to overtake because of all the technicalities, and all the tight and twisty bends that these tracks have. It becomes extremely difficult to overtake. And what do we see here? It looks like Rajdeep has logged off. Rajdeep seems to have logged off. Oh no, that is really tough. I hope he's come back. Or was it? Oh, I think maybe I just glitched out. He lost the position. Okay, to my monitor it looked like he had just been booted out of the session. But looks like he's back in, and that's what's important. But with that, Sonic Hawk has taken advantage of it, which means that Sonic Hawk is in the lead, and Rajdeep was fighting for 4th with Utkarsh, and now has been relegated to 6th. It looks like he glitched out for a second right there, and that has cost him 2 positions. But it looks like we have quite a tough tight battle here again with Azim Clark and 7B. Aggressive move right there from 7B. Azim took him on the inside, and 7B said, I will have none of it. And he said, I will have none of it, and just shut the door on him. So this is going to be an interesting battle to see how this pans out, because just 3 laps to go. You don't want to leave anything to chance. So let's stick with them for a lap or two to see how this battle pans out as they may make their way down the hill. Gives him a nudge and takes him off the track. Azim Clark took 7B off the track. Now I'm not really sure what happened there. Did 7B brake a little too early? And will Azim, more importantly, get a penalty for it? We will have to wait and see what the stewards decide. With that, it looks like Aditya Patnaik has got a 5-second penalty. with multiple warning from the stewards, but no penalty for Azim at the moment. So it looks like Azim seems to have gotten away with it. 7B definitely not happy with that. He must be furious under that, not exactly under the helmet, but in his room somewhere playing this game. But it's okay, just remember it's just a game, 7B, and you can catch up in the next race, or maybe he will make a mistake as well. And he's not too far ahead. He's just about yeah, okay, he's about 2.5 seconds ahead. With that, we don't have too many other things happening. So it looks like PRX Flipper has dropped out. He's dropped out of the session. And Nova West again dominating drive, not an absolute clinical drive from Nova West, where he's now built up a 6-second gap over Tariq Rahman. And it looks like his gamble with a strategy of medium tires is paying off with dividends and then some. Alright, further down the order, again, the race has just settled to its pace. The drivers have seemed to have found their rhythm. There's consistently about a second gap. It looks like now 7B is falling into the clutches of Ace 1426. As long as he can keep that gap under a second. Nope, he just oversteered the car a little bit too early on the power right there. Very easy to oversteer the car there, and this track again is quite slippery, so it's easy to mess up your exits. And nope, he's not been able to maintain that gap under a second, which means that he's not going to have any slipstream or DRS advantage. We have a battle here with Imran and Rajdeep again. Did it look like Imran just went through Rajdeep? I can't tell if Rajdeep is out of the session, because it definitely doesn't seem like he's driving at the pace that he should. And yep, even though DRS was enabled, yeah, I think Rajdeep is out of the session. Yeah, he's back in, but it looks like connectivity issues are just playing with Rajdeep right here. Yeah, he isn't in the session. Rajdeep isn't in the session. Looks like his AI has just sort of taken over. That's really unfortunate, because he had 4th position within grasp, and now yeah, he's in the hands of the machines. All right, so Azim Clark. Did Azim Clark make a mistake? I think Azim Clark made a mistake. He had the position from 7B. That was an aggressive move, and now it's back in. So it looks like 7B has won that position back. That's interesting. Or maybe Azim got that penalty after all. Okay, so the race is settled into a standard pace, and it looks like Rajdeep is not in the session. It's his ghost it's his AI that has taken over, and the AI is pretty quick, I have to say. Yeah, these two had a clash earlier in the race, and I'm not really sure what happened, but it looks like they have brought it back. But this is the battle here to watch out for. Sonic Hawk and CH55 Max. So it looks like they just swapped positions. So this is going to be a battle to watch out for. But with that, this is the lap 14 of 14, and with that, it should be the race victory. And there you have it, folks. That is your race winner, Nova West, followed by Tariq Rahman and Ashwin Lakwani, in quite an uneventful race. Not a lot of action that we have seen with some of the other races, but that's what you get when you race on a track like this. Quite a little bit uneventful, but overall, what I have to say though is commendable racing strategy there from Nova West. He took the gamble with the mediums when he started off. And where are these two going to finish? Imran Thunder and Rajdeep Paul. Will he be able to take him? Nope. but that is just less than half a second between the two of them as they cross the line in 8th and 9th. But yeah, Noah West again, that was a strategy masterclass. He took that risk with the medium tires, and that completely paid off. So that was a well-deserved win right there. And then dominated the drive with the softs and pulled out a second a lap, and essentially finished 8 seconds ahead of Tariq Rahman. Brilliant drive there from Noah West, and this is your finishing order, ladies and gentlemen. So in first we have Noah West, followed by Tariq Rahman, Mercurial Caesar. Third, Ashwin Lakwani. Fourth, Utkarsh from X1 Racing League. Fifth, Aditya Patnaik. Again, a consistent drive from him. 6th, CH55 Max. 7th, Sonic Hawk. 8th, Imran Thunder. 9th, Rajdeep Paul, who was out of the session. Really unfortunate. The internet has not been kind. The internet gods have not been kind. 10th, we have 7B. 11th, Azim Clark. Ace in 12th. Tariq seems to be pretty happy with his second position. There you go. The podiums keep changing every week, and that's what's important to note, ladies and gentlemen. The podiums keep changing every week. So you have a Toro Rosso, a Red Bull, and a Williams on taking the top 3 spots. That is really exciting, and that's the beauty of sim racing. All right, let's quickly run through the order again. So first, Noah West. Second, Mercurial Caesar. Third, Ashwin Lakwani. Fourth, Utkarsh. Fifth, Aditya Patnaik. Sixth, we have CS55 Max. 7th, Sonic Hawk. 8th, Imran Thunder. 9th, Rajdeep Paul. 10th, 7B. 11th, Azim Clark. 12th, Ace. 14th, 26th. 13th, we have Mayank, who spun. Really tough race for him. 14th, Jackson Ginger. 15th, G2. 16th, Anhydrous Acid. 17th, Imran Sherwani. 18th, Shah 2224. And finishing up the order is PRX Flipper with 19th. So there you have it, folks. That was the 4th round of the F1. That was the 4th round of Proximity F1 eSports 2020 Championship. The driver results should be updated soon on our Discord group. If you enjoyed the race, do let us know in the comments below, and do share the races with all your friends, and we shall see you at the next one. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Glenn. It has been wonderful. See you next week.